hear me. Alrighty, and let's try this again with the sound on this time. Welcome to the show. My name is NOVAtazz. This is NOVAtazz Custom. In fact, I had a much better intro when you guys couldn't hear me than you do now. I need to play with a setting here real quick. Alrighty, hopefully that'll take care of that, hopefully. Alrighty, better now, I'm guessing. Welcome aboard, Jason. Welcome aboard. Like I said, when you guys couldn't hear me, I will not be here next week. I have something I have to take care of next weekend, and will not be on. Hopefully, I will be on the week after. This is all depending on a few things. And yes, I have an unhappy kid in the background. He's not feeling so hot, and is fighting going to bed. So, what is in the news? What is in the news? I did see a few YouTubers got their hands a hold on the new C8 Corvette. I did watch Cletus McFarlane spin one around a course a little bit, and I think he had some open road practice on a private, well, not private road, but a closed off road. And I got to play around with it a little bit. Car looks fun. Car looks fast. Still can't say I like the design of it. Performance-wise, the car looks awesome. Still don't like the looks of it, though. So, what is everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Unhappy kids that don't want to go to sleep. Make your channel a real world as possible. Damn right. I am a dad. Can't help it. It's what I am. Kids are never convenient. Welcome aboard, Pilot. Welcome aboard, Pilot. So we have Jason and Grant, and I have to apologize to both of them, as I have not made their live stream in like 3 weeks, and it actually kind of sucks because I really do like their show. I obviously like their show and still promote it. So again, I do believe that it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. to 8:30. It just happens to be, with my new work schedule, a really bad time for me to get on. So, like I said, I apologize for missing your show. And I don't know, Jason, I'd have to disagree with you. It is a good-looking car. To me, is it a good-looking Corvette? No. It doesn't look like a Corvette. It doesn't scream Corvette to me. So to me, it's not a Corvette. I don't know. Just to me, it just doesn't feel like one. So, I mean, is it a great car? Is it going to be a really, really awesome performing car? Yes, it is. Can I call it a Corvette? I don't think so. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't scream Corvette to me. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think. Like I said, still like the car. Just don't like the fact that it's got a Corvette name badge on it. But it will most likely grow on me because, like I said, it is a gorgeous looking car. It is a awesome performing car, and it's only going to get better because this is just the base model. You know, what is this car going to do when they throw the Z06 at it, when they throw the ZR1 at it? It's going to be an epic car. And yeah, we're all allowed to agree or disagree at some point. I'm going to apologize right now. I had some technical difficulties before the start of this show. So the chat will be a little bit further behind than normal. For me at least. You guys, by the time you guys type and the time that I see it, it will be a little bit further behind than it has been. Like I said, I went to go start up the show. YouTube Studio was being a little funky. Ended up restarting the screen, and it immediately went live on YouTube and did not let me click the low latency button. So this is regular latency, which means, like I said, the chat will be a little bit further behind. I don't like it because it really messes with conversations. I'm gonna say goodnight to my kid. Night night, Luca. All right, love you. Sleep tight.
Lay down.
All right. All right, let's see. I saw Grimm's Auto Service just pop in. I think I've already said hello to Pilot, and I know Jason and Grant are in. Love the fact that all you guys are in here right away, especially when I don't have anybody up here on the screen at the moment. I don't have any. Normally, at the beginning of the show, I will highlight the new subscribers that have joined in the last week. Unfortunately, as of the ones that I have available, I know I've had new subscribers, but none of them have their things open for me to be able to share who they are. So I don't have anybody I can share for the new subscribers for this week. I'm going to reset CloudBot here, so hopefully he works. There we go. There we go. Got him working. Oh, I don't know what's going on with my. Let's get rid of that. There we go. But oh my God, yes, I saw the Ryan Newman crash. I didn't get to see a good look of that car from the driver's side after the accident because all of the replays show the car still on its side. But I did see he got hit hard. Battling death. Oh, yeah, the man cold. Yeah, that's some horrible stuff there, man. It'll definitely put you on the couch. Well, I hope you feel better, Jason. Get well soon. Grant, yes. Going back to your comment about the 2019 style, I'm sorry, but the C7, in my opinion, was the epitome of Corvettes at the moment. Changed my mind. I don't think you will. C7's been the best looking car since you had the Stingrays back in the 70s and early 80s. Hasn't had a better looking car since then. Better performing car, yeah. The C8 is going to be better. Is going to outperform the C7 all day long. The 0 to 60-second time is just freaking incredible. And like I said, the car still is not in top trim yet. So we'll have to see where that goes. I did get to see it race a little bit. Don't know if I say I was particularly impressed with its performance at Daytona. I mean, granted, it did have two cars that were up near the top in their class, but they didn't like outperform the Porsche like incredibly. I thought it was going to, but it didn't. I don't know if anybody else watches the 24 hours of Daytona at all, but I do. I like it. Let's see what else is up here. Like I said, already said to. Let me see. Where is everybody at? I might just randomly award. I'll give Jason points too, but might just randomly award points right here at the beginning for all of you people that are joining right away. Oh, all right. You know what? We're going to points for people. Here we go. 50 points for everyone that is in the live chat right now. Okay. Add that. And we'll have to see how many points did Jason have. He had 1. Okay, so let me add 50 to his. Because he was here first. Within the first couple of minutes. Okay. Save. Okay. That should bring him up a little bit. There we go. Oh, did Mission Mechanic? Did you get the 50 points in here? You had 225. You now have 226. Okay, let me add you too. All right. Backspace 7. There we go. Save. Okay. Grant, I added the one video that I put out a little bit ago. I haven't done any editing since because I want to download Adobe or DaVinci, and I haven't done so yet because of training at the new work and also the thing that I have to do this weekend. So yeah, I haven't done any editing. Though I can tell you what, the editing on Filmora 9 that I did was pay no attention to the man behind. Oh my god. uh, Jess, they've caught wind of you walking behind the screen.
What?
They've caught wind of you walking behind the screen.
I'm confused.
You can see little gaps in the screen because I don't have the I don't have the blanket up like I normally do. Oh, because I didn't have time to put the blanket up.
Tell them to stop being creepy.
Pilot, you're supposed to stop being creepy, according to Jess. So let's see what else I got going on here. Sources, live stream. Okay, nothing else. Okay. Let's see. How's editing? Like I said, I already said that the editing on the new PC so far. I've done the one video on the valve body of the truck, and it went flawlessly. It's at this point now that I'm just unhappy with the Filmora software itself. I don't like the restrictions of not being able to keyframe and other things. And yeah, I'm paying for it and still can't do basic stuff that I should be able to. So I'm going to be looking at either DaVinci or the Adobe Suite and see where I can go from there. But like right now, like life is getting in the way at the moment with stuff that I have to deal with between the new work and stuff like that. By the way, if anybody has a product key for DaVinci or Adobe, that'd be awesome. But if not, that's okay. Let's see what else we got going on. Jason Mancold. Grim, any news on your cars? And I saw Grant. Grant, I saw you did a burnout the other day. You did a burnout in the yeah, in your ugly fox body. And let's see, almost car season. Michigan Mechanic. Oh, where's the? Oh, that's the other guy that has the blue Bronco. He's not in yet. Not that I've seen, at least. Oh, so as far as me, my stuff, we got the front brakes on the gray Kia. We had those drilled and slotted from, I think it's Brake Stop, with the ceramic brakes. That went on really easy. The only issue I had is those stupid Phillips screws that they use to hold the rotor to the hub. They did not want to let go whatsoever. Oh, well, that's cheating. That's cheating. You got me good on that one, but that's cheating. Uh, but anyway, so I got the front brakes done on the gray Kia Soul. It's not even a sporty model, and it's got the drilled and slotted rotors on it. But it stops pretty good. And then I ended up replacing the spark plugs and the camshaft position sensors on the green Kia. And I'll tell you what, 160,000 miles on a set of spark plugs. I'm actually kind of impressed that they weren't worse. But they were definitely needed to be replaced, and the car runs a hell of a lot better now. So The next on the agenda is the truck hose and getting the Nova in the garage. Those would be the next two things on the agenda after everything settles down here at home. Let's see. Grim finally got around to replacing the door pins and bushings on my kid's Bravada today. I've had the parts for over a year. Had to do some weldings because I let it go way too long. Yeah, I've done that before. In fact, I still have to do the hinge on the passenger side of the TA. Don't really go in and out that door, so really haven't had a need to. But if I get that car up and running, uh, damn well bet I'll be having passengers in that car, so it'll definitely have to get done. The problem with it, you can't. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about impact drivers for those little Phillips screws. It's a great way to strip them out, unless you're talking about the drivers where you hit it with the hammer, because that's what I did end up using was those. The one screw though ended up pounding the driver through the screw before the screw ended up turning. So either way, it wasn't holding the brake on anymore. Well, I'm sorry, Gran. I was scrolling through Instagram. I didn't stop to read it. I just clicked on it. I do believe I was using some private time in the facilities when I was scrolling through there too. Oh. 132 horsepower, low compression 302. Well, throw some I don't know. Can you throw 289 heads on a 302? I don't know enough about Fords, but that's our solution with the Chevys when they're low compression. You just throw heads off of a smaller engine on it, and boom, there you go, better compression. Oh, just ask my Nova. And lawnmowers need a new plug every season. Go figure. I've never. You know what? I have more carburetor issues with lawnmowers than I've ever had spark plug issues. Normally the carburetor gums up before the spark plug goes on any of the stuff that I've had. It's that stupid ethanol gas with the freaking carburetor when it sits. Reading is well overrated. I mean, Instagram's nothing but a giant picture book anyway. As I'd offer just to give the rotor a good beating and hit it with my walkie bit driver, but impact driver is for when the screw isn't. Yeah. The problem with the Milwaukee bit driver though is sometimes it'll just strip out the head of the screw with the Phillips head. But yeah, and I still had to beat the rotors off with a dead blow anyway because they were seized to the hub. GTP 40p heads for it, but I do believe you can put 280. Yeah, I mean that's Grant. That's what we used to do with the Chevys. If you had a 350 with low compression heads, normally you can put 305 heads on them and bring the compression back up. The only thing that would suffer at that point would be if you were looking to go high enough RPMs that you would run into a limit of how much the exhaust valve could put out. All right. See you later, Grant. Good luck on your editing. And as Streamlabs have reminded me, if you haven't checked out my merch store, go check it out. You can get epic shirts like this one right here. There we go. This is live on my merch store right now, along with hoodies and towels and all kinds of other stuff. So go check it out and let me know what you think. Thank you, thank you. Let's see, how many thumbs up do we have? We have one. Let's see if we can get some more thumbs up going on in here. There we go. We'll put that one up here. Oh. Not quite sure where all my other friends are at, but we'll see what we can get going on in here. Let's see. Where is Chris? No Chris. Any other news? Any other news? Let's see if I can check out YouTube, see what I can find on my YouTube thing, and see what other people are up to. Anybody else has any news? Let me know. Has any of you guys heard of a channel called Ace? What is it? It's ASICERIK. He and his dad are doing a '77 Camaro Z28. I've actually been following them for a few years. They just put out a new video, in fact, 3 minutes ago. Hot rod black on the core support and inner fenders. But they've been slowly piecing this together. It's an LS swapped 77 Z28. It has to pass California emissions, so of course it's got the little tiny baby cats on it. Custom rear suspension, custom front suspension, and I do believe they're going with a custom interior. So if you haven't checked out his channel, go ahead. It's one of my favorite channels to go watch. Grim says, Movie Man Mike finally came back and helped me with some more videos that I recorded over a year ago. Oh, okay. Did you have trouble? Do you have trouble editing, or what? What's up? I ended up just getting. I'm not sure. I'm sure you guys all know who Street Speed 717 is, but I picked up one of the knives out of off of InChain Design's website to hopefully enter myself into the Duramax giveaway. You know, do I have a 01 Dodge Ram 1500 gasser or a Duramax? I think I'd take the Duramax because Duramax is going to tow a hell of a lot better than the Ram. I'll have to redo all my merch then, though. But it would let me sell the Ram. But yeah, I picked up an epic knife. I don't know where. I think I left it in the bedroom. But yeah, it's the American flag one where the flag goes out onto the handle. I'll tell you what, it's a really nice knife. Cuts like butter. It looks like I just missed Rust Belt Mechanics live stream. I knew he was doing live streams, but I thought he had stopped for a little while. Rust Belt Mechanic, McBake, and Junk from Work. What else we got going on here? I did see that. Who was it that I saw? It was just about to hit 1 million views. DDE Damon, hard evidence surfaces in response to allegations. Uh-oh, I'll have to watch that later. I don't know what that one's about. Oh. So, other than that, I don't have much news as far as my stuff is going. Like I said, I've been busy with the new work and trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing. I could have filmed the Kia stuff, but I just kind of needed to get it out of the way, and it's cold. I didn't want to be playing around with filming. And I think I have, well, I do. Oh, grease on me from earlier today, apparently. What's up, Pete? What's up, Pete? Oh, it was you. I knew I saw it somewhere. Pete's also got another issue. How's your eye there, Pete? Apparently he got something in his eye and woke up with a nice swollen eye today. Yes, I struggle with editing and posting videos. Just need to do it more to get the hang of it. Grim, there is a ton of videos online about editing, and in fact, the main man right above you in the comments, Mr. Camaro Time, has some awesome editing videos to help teach you how to edit videos using DaVinci. But it's pretty much across the board. You can do a lot of the stuff that he's telling you in those videos. You can also do them in some of the other video editing platforms as well. So, uh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that picture there, Pete. Sorry about your bad luck. I don't know. Did you get it in your eye during work, or was this some other? Just doing random stuff? And I guess the first question somebody's going to be asking is, did you wear your safety goggles? Just because somebody's going to say it. Uh, well, let's see. Just for shits and giggles. Oh my god, that makes that almost not even worth it, man. And you weren't even doing something cool when you got the strap in your eye, man. I mean, normally I get the crap in my eye from freaking working underneath of one of the older cars where the rust that freaking comes down and shit. Uh, but yeah, that sucks, man. You get it in your freaking eye before you even go into work. It means you had to deal with that shit all freaking day. That must have been irritating the crap out of you. Ugh. So we'll do. Well, I got a few of you guys in here. We'll do the what's in the cup segment. Today I am drinking per my normal Yingling. What are you guys up to drinking today? Oh, I bet you it did. I bet you it did. Oh, well, happy birthday to the wifey, and hopefully your eye feels better, man. So what's in everybody's cup this weekend? Technically, I've got Yingling. I got me some green tea mango from Turkey Hill, and I also got me a glass of water. So figured I'd stay well hydrated this week. I just wanted to hit everyone. Yeah, crap in the eye sucks, man. It does. It does. Um, definitely ruins the weekend. Arizona RX Energy. That stuff's pretty good. I haven't drank that in a while, but I used to drink that when I was in school. Let's see. Atlanta Auto Show from Z Outlaw SS. Um, Patiently, Motion Auto TV needs to sell their V10 Audi R8. And we have a Big E.
Oh, Jesus.
I like you had your own little intro music.
Boop.
Yeah.
What the hell's up with your background?
It is my normal background minus the blanket.
Oh.
It just dude, I'm not sure if you saw the group chat, but I spent half of the evening making this monstrous pan of freaking lasagna.
Ow.
That dude, that pan of lasagna must have weighed like fucking 15, 20 pounds.
That's a lot of lasagna.
Well, dude, here, I'll pull it up for you real quick. Let's see. Oh, not that chat. No, 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 no. That is a monstrous pan of lasagna.
Is it sitting on your stove?
Yes.
Takes up literally 2 whole burners.
Yes. It's
a lot
about
of
5 inches
lasagna.
deep, and can't even tell you how much across. That was 2 pounds of beef. Um, let's see. I don't know how much of the big jar, plastic jars of ragu. The big plastic jars.
Hmm.
So two of those plus two little 8-ounce jars of sauce. Two
Jeez.
32-ounce containers of ricotta cheese. three
Yeah.
pounds of mozzarella, and 2 boxes of lasagna noodles.
That's some lasagna.
That's some lasagna, because I guarantee you it's not going to freaking last long.
No,
Um,
probably not.
no, that's dinner for the week.
There you go.
If it lasts the week, it was freaking
If.
good. It's a little too sloppy still because it literally came out of the oven at like 8:20,
Oh.
and I normally
Sloppy
start.
lasagna is best lasagna.
Huh?
Sloppy lasagna is
Well, it's
best
hard to eat
lasagna.
it though. It's hard to get it out of the pan. I like it when after it cools down and you can just like stab it and then like throw
Yeah.
it in the microwave when it's all like still holds its shape.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I haven't. That's actually I haven't made lasagna. Well, I've that's my first one basically from scratch.
Hmm.
I've made lasagna before, but really just like like cheapo lasagna. You know, just kind of throw some
Hmm.
layers together and freaking whatever, but never with the whole ricotta and mozzarella and the oh, and probably a whole can of Parmesan cheese too.
Oh,
Forgot about that one. It's cheesy.
no pun intended.
Huh?
No pun intended.
Right? That's okay. I made a cheesy dinner last night too. Last night's was shepherd's pie with ground beef, corn, and mashed potatoes with lots of cheddar cheese.
Oh,
That one
cool.
was good too. There's actually only probably one serving left of that, and that was one of those 9 by 13 inch Pyrex containers.
Oh,
So yeah, that's probably about. Actually, no, probably the lasagna's about the size of my monitor.
hmm. It's an odd unit of measurement.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at the size of this monitor, and I think maybe
How
the
big is your
monitor might
monitor?
be a
One
little bit
lasagna.
shorter than that thing of lasagna because this monitor is like huge, but definitely not as wide. The lasagna was definitely wider than the monitor.
Hmm.
Yeah, Graham. If you're on my Instagram, you know I like to cook. Oh, idiot of the day that almost got their car freaking window smashed in. Um,
Oh,
you probably didn't see. You don't have Instagram, right, Biggie?
no.
I posted on Instagram. You probably saw it on my Facebook, maybe. But I had to run out to go grab some more meat and sauce for the lasagna,
Yeah.
and I was parked right behind Jess in the gray car. And there was a parking spot behind me as well. You could have fit another car in there. So I pull out, mosey my way on down to the freaking Boyers, which is only like maybe 4 blocks away,
Hmm.
and go do my shopping. Come back. Here's this fucking Volkswagen Jetta, literally parked smack dab in between Jess's car and a car that was behind me.
Oh,
Like literally smack dab in the middle. And there was enough spot to park 2 cars in that spot.
jeez.
And Volkswagen Jettas aren't big.
No.
You could have definitely have parked a full size freaking long bed 4-door truck in this spot.
Jeez.
Oh, I was so heated because this happens all the freaking time. Um, my ex-wife uses a smoke detector as a meat thermometer.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, the way that this house works, if we had the smoke detector in the hallway, every time I tried to cook, and I'm not saying shit would be catching on fire, just the heat from the kitchen, because
Hmm.
there's no vent in the kitchen to vent stuff out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Just the heat that builds up in the kitchen would set off the smoke detector in the hallway every time. It was
Goddamn.
so annoying. You know, it's really hard to want to, keep the smoke detector in if every time you cook it sets it off. Where
Hmm.
is it? Gallery, gallery, gallery. Why can't I find the gallery? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there is. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up because of the fucking lights.
Not very.
There. Can you see
Oh,
it?
holy shit. What a douchebag.
Oh my god, it pissed me the fuck off. Like, okay, fine. You park, pull up to the back bumper of the car in front of you, or back up to the front bumper of the car behind you. Don't literally park right in the middle of that space and leave like 6 feet in front and behind your car.
That's absurd.
Oh, I was so fucking pissed. Like pissed. Um, but yeah, I mean, that was just epically annoying. And the thing is then we end up having to park like almost at the other end of the block
Well,
because our street is packed a little. But we also have a crap ton of idiots that have no idea how to park. If they parked like that in Reading, they wouldn't have a car left because somebody would have beat it in.
stands to reason.
Because parking in Reading it's a hard to come by commodity. And when somebody parks like a douchebag, especially in front of your house, and you end up having to park on the like 2 streets over, it kind of piss you off.
Yeah.
I have more problems with parking here in Tamaqua, which is a like freaking tiny ass hick town, than I did in the city. Because people don't know how to park. Not that there isn't plenty of parking. There is plenty of parking. Just plenty of freaking idiots that can't park.
Stands to reason.
You don't have that issue because you just park in. Oh no, you don't live at your mom's anymore. Do you guys? Because I think the last time I remember you talking about parking issues was, I think you were still living at your mom's and you had to park in front of the garage or whatever, which was just like a dirt pad.
No. Where my mom's is a driveway, but it's really like tore up and uneven and.
Because I remember when you first got the truck, you were talking about that.
Yeah, well, it's not a problem in the winter because they just park in front of the house. But in the winter, you can't do that because then snowplows come down and they'll fucking total your vehicle without a second fucking thought. So I had to literally park between the house and the garage, which is literally just fucking grass.
Yeah. Where do you guys got parking now or?
Yeah, we do. We got a shitty fucking driveway. It's covered in a fucking, not even a sheet of ice. Can't even say that. It's just like all the snow that's fallen and melted and froze and melted and froze and hasn't melted all the way through. It just keeps melting and then freezing over again.
Well, I'm with Pilot. It was like 55 degrees outside today.
Oh.
I was outside working on the Kias with a t-shirt on.
Ow.
Yeah, it was nice. And yesterday wasn't bad either.
No, I think it was pretty warm today, but not 55 degrees warm.
Oh, 55 degrees here. Yesterday was like 45.
The high today was 45.
Yeah. So you had your today was my yesterday.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Were you in here when I was saying that I did the brakes on the Kia finally? Yeah, I did front brakes, the drilled and slotted with the ceramic pads. I did them on the gray car yesterday.
Oh, geez.
And it went great, except for those stupid little Phillips screws that they use to hold the
those are
motor
the
to the
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I know. We ended up getting out the impact driver, the one with the where you take the big sledge and just smack the end of it.
Yeah.
And it spins it. I had actually ended up the first one that I was going to do this job like 3 weeks ago in front of the house and ran into those screw issues. So I was like, I know that they have one at the garage. I know they have one where I work on my cars. So I was like, you know what, we'll just go up there and go do it. And so this weekend we went out there to go do that. And I went and grabbed that impact, gave it a whack, and that was it. Like, it broke.
Oh.
I broke the bit and I broke the tool.
God
so I broke
damn.
one of my Phillips 3/4 inch bits, and I broke the tool. But the tool was rusty. It just like as soon as you gave it a whack, it wouldn't come back out. Like it's supposed to like it goes in and then the spring forces it back out and turn, and it just stayed in. It was permanently an innie from that day forward. So we ended up having her brother bring his over, and the first three were fine. So the two on the passenger side, they came out no problem. The first one on the driver's side came out no problem. I started whacking on the other one, it wouldn't freaking move. Soaked in PB blaster and everything, wouldn't move. I had her brother come out because her brother's bigger than I am, and he gave it a couple freaking whacks, and it broke free. And I went to go spin it out of the hole, and here the impact driver literally went through the head of the bolt, and so that's why it broke free. It didn't break free because the threads broke free. The head of the bolt broke free from the rest of the bolt.
My
So there you
God.
can literally see the plus sign and the end of the bit sticking through the other side of the head. It was absolutely
Lord.
hilarious. But it was no longer holding the brake rotor on. Exactly. I only threw one back in. I just threw the one back in. I was like, the other Kia only has one. The green one only has one of those stupid screws.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if one is good for that car, one is good for this one.
There you go. I don't see what the fucking point of those stupid little fucking screws are.
I think it's mainly just to make sure that the rotor stays flat when you put the wheel on. So that way it doesn't get cocked sideways or whatever and end up, making the wheel not go on right. I have no idea.
I mean, it could, but I've never had a problem with the rotor not seating straight.
Well, I don't have that problem on the TA and stuff because the rotor is part of the hub. You want to replace the rotor on an old car, you literally have to replace the whole hub.
Oh, that'll do it.
So yeah, the hub is actually, but you have to take the wheel bearing out and everything, and the whole thing slides out. Which is also why you didn't end up replacing them every third time you changed the brake pads back then. You just recut them until they got too thin to recut, which would normally take a while.
Yeah.
Now you get like with these today's rotors, you get maybe 2 or 3 brake pad changes, and you got to replace the whole rotor. And they're not cheap either. They're like $45 to $100 depending on the rotor.
Yeah.
So it's stupid, but whatever. Throwaway country. Grim says he's got a big yard, so never have to park in the street. Unfortunately, I'm not parking my TA or my Nova in the yard when it gets wet. Like right now, my Novas are in the yard, and I probably, unless the ground was frozen, probably could not get them out at this point. Because I guarantee you, anything you drive in that yard would just sink. Because of all the snow and the rain and the wet, mushy shit. The TA is actually parked on top of gravel right now, so I don't have to worry about that. Though technically it is in a yard, it's just a gravel-filled yard at the moment. That's probably right. Factory assembly, so that way the rotors don't fall off going down the assembly line.
Yeah.
But yet the aftermarket rotors still have them. Because obviously the drilled and slotted are not factory rotors.
No.
But go figure this one out. The drilled and slotted rotors were about $20 cheaper a rotor than the factory ones.
Well, because they're not OEM.
Yeah. But hopefully they last. That'll be the big thing. But we bought them because I think the inspection place wanted like $500 to do the front brakes on that car.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, it was like 4 something.
At like what, like $200 an hour?
I have no idea, but they wanted that. And then we ended up picking up the rotors and the pads for under 200. I think it was like 125, 120, 130, something like that.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad for ceramic brakes either.
No.
So we ended up getting those, and so yeah, that saved us like $300.
Nice.
But I mean, I know that the rotors aren't necessarily cheap either. Those rotors, I think, were like $65 for like just if I were to buy factory rotors, I think it was like $65 per rotor.
Yeah.
And then the pads are normally 35 to 40, $35 to $45.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you were looking at spending close to freaking $250 in parts if I were to go with factory stuff. You having fun over there?
No.
What are you doing?
I just muted myself so I could dust off my keyboard real quick.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you actually muted yourself because I could have sworn I heard stuff.
But I did.
Now you're muted. Now you're not.
Huh.
You weren't
Weird.
muted.
Strange.
When you want to be muted, it doesn't mute, and when you don't want it to be muted, it's muted.
Yeah.
That was like me. Again, I did the same stupid thing in the beginning of this live stream. I have to mute the like in the mixer, the microphone that I use to speak into. I can't turn that one off, or I mean, I can't get rid of that one for the starting screen because all I need is the computer mixer for the starting screen. I don't need the microphone, and it won't let me delete it, so I have to mute it. And then when I switch over to the actual like display that you see here, I have to unmute the microphone to talk. I always forget to unmute it.
Rip.
So I'm like, do this epic. Bless you. Apparently, I have a cat sneezing behind me somewhere.
Yeah.
Cat named Jess. But what was I say? Like, I do the most epic
Holy
good.
Christ.
What?
So I am. God damn it! Not at the moment.
That's what she said.
Hold on. I'm going to share my screen here. Why not share audio? No, Advanced Auto Parts website has.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. Add to
All right.
screen.
So I got. Shit, where is it? Yeah, right here. 2008 Chevrolet Avalanche LT, exact fit parts, blah blah blah. $73 for this one. I'm pretty sure this is the cheapest one. Actually, where can I sort it?
Choose filters. Right.
Do you see that?
Right there. Oh, that's clear filters.
Yeah.
Sort by all the way on the left.
Price load high.
Probably most popular because it is the lowest.
What? Auto Part International Inc.
I
there is no way a brake rotor costs
$11.79. I don't think that one's.
I don't believe those ones for a second. But then there's this one right here, CarQuest Platinum Painted Brake Rotor, $73.
All right.
Brake. 73,
Those
77.
That's the brand that I normally go with, the wherevers.
AC Delco, which is GM's like parts outlet thing, whatever, 78. Run True, 82.64 for one. WBR. It just goes up. Like, this get obscene.
Yeah, I told you.
$100 for a single rotor.
I told you. I ended up having to buy them for the truck, and they were expensive. I ended up going to the same company that I put on the Kia. That's why there's drilled and slotted rotors on the truck, not because I wanted to be fancy, but because they were cheaper.
Oh, that's a rear rotor. It's still 115.
The thing is, those are smaller. The rear rotors are smaller.
Yeah, they're. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, see, a lot smaller. And they don't have the air. Oh no, they do.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, the rear ones don't have that air gap inside of them.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, I just went down to the bottom.
Because yeah, the Kia's got front and rear discs.
Oh, I was looking at this kit on Amazon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's the same kit that we got for the.
No, it wasn't.
We didn't buy it through. CarQuest was more expensive. We bought ours through, I think, Rock Auto.
No. Oh, see, this is the stuff that kept popping up.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Danny the Count. How do I not know who Danny the Count is?
Name sounds familiar.
Danny the Count was in Milwaukee this weekend for a Rod and Custom show. That was Pilot.
From Counting Cars.
Oh, okay.
No, not
I don't
Headlights.
really watch
What the
that show, so. Of course, I have a love my car. Of course, I have my cars on gravel. I have enough room for several cars. Yeah, but there's a difference between parking in the yard versus parking on gravel, at least in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Where you at now?
Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what the
That's
hell?
no, that's not the.
Mitsubishi Galant 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Does this say Galant up here?
This one that you have up on the top. That's the kit, the style
What,
kit
this
that
one?
we got. No, next one over.
This one?
Nope, other way.
This one?
Yep.
Oh.
Obviously not for your truck,
Yeah, naturally.
that's I recognize the box for the pads.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't. They're not that expensive,
Rotors?
and they've had really good reviews everywhere I've looked. That one's 199 for the full kit, and they come with all. At least the kits that I have, they come with all of the freaking assembly stuff you need. Whereas, like, if you were to
Mhm.
buy the kit in the AutoZone, you end up
Yeah.
having to buy the stupid little shims and everything else that you need separately.
Yeah.
So, like, this kit came with the little rubber for the caliper to slide in and out, the little
Mm-hmm.
rubber boots. It
Yeah.
came with grease for the pins. Two of the pins have a little rubber seal that's on the end of the pin. It came with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it came with all of the hardware and all of the wearable parts to replace. Whereas if you were to buy the pads at the store, you end up having to buy a wearable parts kit as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even more expensive because even those
Yeah.
wearable parts kits are like 10-15 bucks.
Jeez.
So it literally came with everything in the box. So you got two pads. I mean, you got two rotors. You got all four pads, and you got the wearable parts stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, for $130 versus like 200 and some to buy all that stuff separately, damn right I'm
Yeah.
gonna freaking grab it.
Mm-hmm.
But now the gray car's got better brakes than I have on my car, so we just did the front brakes on the green car. What, 2 years ago? I think like
Hmm.
2 years ago. So they're still
Yeah.
good. It's just,
Meanwhile, I've been on warped rotors for like a year.
huh?
I've been on warped rotors for like a year and a half.
Oh, that's gonna suck. It's not real. It makes your pads wear out faster too.
Well, I never had high expectations of the place this vehicle came from.
Yeah. Let's see.
I should be lucky it's still running. Really?
What? No kidding. What year
Hmm?
Jeep Cherokee do you have? Oh, it's a Grand Cherokee, which means it's obviously from when did they start the Grand Cherokees? What, late 80s? 89?
Oh, I think.
Yeah. I had a Jeep Cherokee Limited uh from 89. I freaking love that truck. Well, is it a truck? I guess it's a truck.
Kind of.
It's four-wheel drive. But yeah, I had the black and gold edition. It had the gold snowflakes with the black paint,
Mm-hmm.
and then it had that tan like vinyl interior. It's supposed to look like leather,
Yeah.
and it had a factory sunroof.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, like one of not many. A lot of the Jeeps had sunroofs in them, but they were put in after the factory.
Mm-hmm.
This one was legit a factory one, complete with the in dash switch for the sunroof part.
Cool.
Yeah. I didn't know they actually put convenience items in newer vehicles. It says it's a
Really?
2016 Grand Cherokee. It's got a flashlight in the back.
The Gladiator has like a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
Echo. Dismiss.
Freaking Echo.
Dismiss that shit.
Really bad timing for that alarm. Ugh. And oh, by the way, we had a really epic week last week
Oh,
with the live stream.
yeah.
Because we had so many people in here for so long. It was actually one of the best performing live streams that I've had in a while.
Hmm.
See
Cool.
if I can go back to it here. Da, 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 da. So we had 935 minutes of watch time and 54 views.
Nice.
Not very good on the revenue, which none of these live streams are very good on revenue. Because by the time YouTube picks up on them and everything, you know what I mean? By the time YouTube picks up on the live streams and starts promoting
Yeah.
it, it's always like the next day. And by
Mm-hmm.
then, nobody really wants to watch a live stream the next day. I mean, there are
Yeah.
people out there that do listen to them. Like if I had a long drive into work, you know what I mean? That'd be something I'd like to listen to and shit, like
Yeah.
podcasts and stuff. But most of the time, like if I'm sitting down at the end of the day watching, like live streams are hard for me to watch unless they're live.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It's like when you're sitting there, you don't mind waiting to listen to information, but when it's not live, you kind of just want the information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I also have ADD, so I'm not very a patient person
Hmm.
when it comes to I don't know, watching something. I guess.
Yeah.
So what news do we has today from the Biggie?
I got nothing.
Got nothing. Well,
Nope.
me and you have been. We started playing the Isle,
Yeah.
which is not car related, but it is consumer
Definitely not.
related. The Isle, if you guys don't know, is a survival dinosaur game. You start out as whether a herbivore or a predator, and you grow from a baby dino and try not to get your ass eaten till you become a big dino and you start eating everything,
Ideally.
ideally. Unless something bigger comes along and eats you first.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how many times I have died.
Mhm.
I did not hide good enough. Somebody saw my tail.
You got to get Wreckfest next. Then we could say we did play a car related game.
Oh yeah, that's that one with the I see Fail Race. He plays that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does like the gauntlet stuff and stuff like that. I don't know if I really like that game though. I was watching him play it. I don't know if I necessarily could say I like it.
I like it.
How much is
Very
that one?
fun. Destruction is on point.
It is. Well,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff I watch him play, he amps the destruction up really high.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
time
do
is it?
that.
It is 10:03. You know what time it is?
10:03.
It's time to award the people that end up struggling through the first hour of the show to still be here an hour into it. So we'll go with 50 points today.
Woo!
That's no well. Should we go with 40? That's one for every person that's in the chat right now, or 10 for every person. I'll go with 50. That puts Grimm's Auto Service at 474. Jesse, where is Jesse this week? He's normally always here because he's like the second highest. He's got 312, and then Pilot at 281, Michigan Mechanic at 279, and then Grant at 160, Jacob Smith at 126, apparently me at 119. Where are you at?
I don't know. Somewhere.
You never watch the live stream while you're.
I'm watching it right now. Not actively, but it is running in the background.
Apparently, it doesn't count that.
Rude.
So you're not even on my list at all. Unless you're watching it under somebody different.
No. I'm signed in.
There is not a single lovely bunch of coconuts on my list.
To hell.
I know, right? You're not getting credit for watching it. Let's see. Top. Okay. I've now sorted my top list for hours watched. So watch time.
Mm-hmm.
Pilot at 2.58 hours. Michigan Mechanic at 2.42 hours. Jacob Smith at 2.17 hours. Grimm's Auto Service at 2 hours even. Me at 1.58 hours. I don't know how. Like I'm in here every single. Like the video is playing in the background the whole time I'm here.
Hmm.
So if there's anybody here who has more time, it should be me because I'm here from the time I start the stream until the time I end the stream every week. I mean, you're right.
No.
It does not care.
Nope. It's like get
Uh,
hecked.
right? Jesse Williams at 1 hour. Nikolai at 0.92 hours. And then Grant at 0.83. Mrs. Formula at 0.75. And then we just get smaller as we go down.
Oh.
I would say most of the rest of the people that are on that list are not people that are here consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I would say my consistent followers are probably stops at. Well, no, I can't say that because, like, I know that Old Car Auto Guy, he normally pops in for a little bit, but yet he's only marked at 0.17 hours.
Oh.
Chris, one of the main people that are following our channel that are literally up here every week, he has 0.08. 0.08.
Jeez.
Right? So I don't know. I don't know how it tracks time, but I think it's messed up.
Apparently not very well.
Yeah. So I don't know how accurate this is. Well, hello. It's Mrs. Formula. Does that mean Chris is close to being on? I've run out of beer though. Oh wait, no, I have a swig. That was actually good timing for that sound effect because there went the last of it. Ugh, hi everyone. I don't see him up here on my list yet, but I did have a message from somebody. Oh, it's my mom.
My mom.
And I think Jonathan is always busy. I've not heard from Jonathan except for like on social media.
Holy
in a
Christ.
while. Oh, yep. You know what? His wife gave him away.
Rip.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Doodly doodly.
Well,
we need to turn up your volume there, Chris. I don't know how to.
Loud and clear for me.
Yeah, I can't do it. Oh, we just went over the stats. You guys just missed 50 extra points. Chris.
Wing. Story of our lives.
Right. So what had kept you guys busy today?
I was in the midst of a fuel stop, limping along our usual hopscotch and run.
Good Christ.
What's up, Biggie?
Fucking around in Rock Out. I was looking at brakes and stuff. I'm like, I wonder what else they have. But on the engine, there's camshaft and lifter kit, camshaft bearings. And I'm like, crankshaft main bearings. Let's look at this. And like, there's 1,000th undersize, 100th undersize, and standard is all out of stock.
Well,
on pretty much everything in like the full replacement standard part thing.
Well, that's because those are what normally, if you take care of your engine when you have to rebuild it, normally you don't have to go oversized. You have to go oversized when you have to send the part out to get machined. And let me ask you something. When is the last time somebody sent an LS out to the machine shop to get oversized?
Yes.
Because it's cheaper 9 out of 10 times to just go pick up another LS. So that's why you have all those oversized parts there, because
no, undersized, not oversized.
Well, yeah. Well, it's the same thing. It means you had to cut down the crank, which means the bearing now has to be bigger to make up the clearance for how much you cut the crank.
I see.
So most likely, if somebody has to send the crank out to go get cut, they'll just go replace the whole motor. Because also, if it's an aluminum block, 9 out of 10 times, if they did enough damage, they have to cut the crank. Normally, the block's cracked
Mm-hmm.
Or warped.
or warped or needs to be
Heads are
sleeved.
definitely trashed.
Yeah, exactly. So you just end up going to the junkyard and pulling out another freaking used LS.
A repair sleeve,
Yeah,
$8.79 for a sleeve.
yeah. Okay, that's $8.79 for the sleeve, right? How much do you
Yeah,
think it is to put that sleeve in?
a lot more.
Yes, because you got to take it to the machine shop. They have to cut the old one out, and then they have to press fit the new one in.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking a lot of machine work.
A single exhaust valve can be as low as $6.95. Oh wait, I lied. That's 2 exhaust valves because the quantity one is not available.
Oh,
How about a long block?
that's a completely assembled. That's completely assembled from what would be carb down to pan.
Well, my truck doesn't have a carb, so
No, but in the old time it would be carb. So everything
yeah.
from the intake down, unless they're not selling the intake with it. But it's
That's a
definitely,
negative.
yeah, it's definitely it would be valve cover heads, and completely assembled bottom end.
Yeah, only about 2,500,
Yeah. Do you see?
excluding the core. Well, with the core charge.
All right. Now, do you see why people will just go get a new one rather than send one out to go get machined?
Yeah.
Because when they're priced that low, it's cheaper to just throw it away and go get a new one. Which is also why I don't build engines
Mm-hmm.
unless they're for myself, because
How much is a piston?
even though that's what I went to go to school for, people don't build engines anymore because it's cheaper to go buy a new one.
Can you get an engine tech piston for $16?
Yeah, you'd probably. That depends on what you want it for. If you're building a stock application, sure. But if you're building anything that you want to put boost to,
Oh god,
or yeah, no,
if you're putting boost in something like that, you're probably not going to be
you're
looking
looking
at
at a
rock.
forged piston at least,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're just going to punch a hole right through it,
Easy street.
or break a ring land, or some other freaking nasty shit.
Oh, how much is a transmission now? Oh,
You're looking at $3,000.
out of stock. Out of stock. I guess the 4L60E isn't that durable.
The 4L60E is the overdrive version of a 350. And they're okay for a stock application use, but you try doing anything, and yeah, you're gonna break shit.
Oh, I saw some video of someone in a first gen Avalanche, and they're on like this dirt lot, and they're doing donuts around the cameraman, and you just hear something let go
Yeah,
in a bad way. And the guy behind the camera's like, "Oh, you just blew your diff," and they're looking under. There's no oil. So then he goes, starts back up again, puts it in drive, and you just hear gears crunching.
and an automatic,
Yeah,
unless it's in the diff, there's not really gears. I mean, there's some planetary gears, but that's
yeah. I
not
think
normally
what it
what lets
is.
go.
Let me see if I could find what the name of what it was. It wasn't the
Just,
band. Wasn't the anchor pin. It was, what is it? It's some part in the transmission that's like a known failure point for it, like a known like first thing to fail.
probably a sun gear or a planetary gear.
Yeah, it's a sun gear or a gear input carrier. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the sun gear and planetary gear assembly.
No, I don't think it was that. It was something close to it though.
Actually, no, what did you say it was again?
I
No,
this is
the
input
other name
carrier.
you were talking about, the carrier. No,
It's
that's trying to think if that's what they call the first stack of freaking um, of clutch packs or not.
no, that's
I don't know
shit.
all the terms. I know how it goes together. I just don't necessarily know all the terms.
The input carrier is It's not like a clutch pack. It's Sun Gear, I think. No, it's one of the planetaries. It's got like 4 gears on pins.
Yeah. The sun gear is the one in the middle. The planetary gears are the one on the outside. So the big gear that the planetary gears go inside of,
Mm-hmm.
that big gear is the sun gear.
Yeah.
And they normally ride on the outside, on the gear on the outside.
Dipstick tube.
You're just fascinated, aren't you? Oh.
A rebuild kit? $100?
For the transmission?
Yeah.
Depends on what's all included. I guarantee
Overhaul
that's probably not.
Paper gaskets, pan gasket, rubber O-rings, rubber lip seals, metal clad seals, sealing rings, and molded rubber clutch pistons.
Yep, everything but the clutch packs. And the clutch bands. And what else are you missing with that? You're missing the oil pump. You're missing any servos.
There's the master kit classification, which is overhaul kit plus friction and steel clutch plates. That's $256.
You're still missing all of your electronics. You're still missing your front pump, and you're missing a torque converter.
Solenoids.
Yeah, that's the electronics. And if you're going to tear the transmission down that far, you might as well throw a shift kit in it. And then you're also missing all of the hard parts that you should probably upgrade if you pulled the transmission down that far as well, like your planetary gears.
Yeah.
Because, the hard parts, those are the first to go. So normally most people that are upgrading, especially for off-road use or towing, those are some of the things that you would replace. Oh. Like the inside of my transmission in the Dodge is no longer stock.
Yeah. Oh, for shits and or giggles, what about a Chevy Aveo?
What are you doing with it?
Engine.
Oh, engine.
Yeah, come on. Where's their piston ring? No one cares. Valve lifter.
So what's going on in the chat except for I only see Mrs. Formula talking? We killed the chat somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty popping.
Killed it dead.
Killed it dead. Dead and gone. That's it.
There
Mrs.
are
Formula
no
popped in and
crankcasts
scared
for
everybody
Chevy
away.
Aveo.
Let's see. Most people don't know how or want to work. No. Most people don't want to do anything that involves work. Not in this generation. My God, I have to fix it? Why? I can go get it done. Why would I want to fix it? I literally just watched somebody do that yesterday. That tool. It's old enough that you could have disassembled it and fixed it. No. Just throw it away. I'll get another one.
Well.
All right, Mrs. Foreman. You're talking to us up here on the screen, but yeah, you're definitely talking to yourself in the chat here. I'll help you out.
Welcome to the day and age of replace it. Oh God, I broke the tip on my flathead screwdriver. I need to go buy a new set.
A whole new set.
Grind the damn thing down.
Oh. Now you break a Phillips head. That's a little harder to fix.
Yeah, Phillips head, yeah. In which case, you then next ask them, why didn't you get a pry bar for what you were trying to do?
Right? Or don't try to use it as a chisel.
Yeah, or that.
Because I guarantee you, I take that bit in that I broke yesterday, they're going to be like, what the hell did you try to do with it? The whole tip of it's shattered. Well, I tried to use it on my impact driver. The impact was just too much for it.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it? What is the screw McDriver? What is that? What are this?
What artists?
That's actually a nod to another YouTuber.
Oh,
She has a not a Chihuahua, but those little like mini greyhounds. I forget what they're
yeah.
called, but she has one of those, and she has this whole skit where she's walking around her apartment, and she's like, "What are this? What are this?"
Mm.
Jenna Marbles. That's who she is. Thank you, Jess.
Holy
But
Christ.
that skit is absolutely freaking hilarious. It makes me laugh. She also has a penis song.
Oh dear.
Oh, that it's like you know how like guys talk about like the female genitalia all the time in like songs and shit. Well, this is like a girl singing about penises. It's funny.
Oh my God.
Hey, if guys can do it, so can girls. And Chris is over there sounding like he's playing with a bunch of freaking blown up Trojans.
Mm.
You ever seen that commercial with the balloon animals made out of condoms?
Yeah. Mm.
Huh? Chris, have you seen that one?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't sent that one to me at some point.
Mhm.
There's some things that even my warped sense of what I think should be normal just surpass all possibilities of humor. That's like, yeah, it's not even worth throwing in a trash can, you know?
Oh no, I
Mm.
find that one absolutely hilarious. I love that one. The freaking
And then a lot of it depends on the mood I'm in whenever I see it, whether I
yeah, like the
mess
the
around
the,
with
the
it.
dirty Skittles commercials. Uh, Obviously the balloon animal Trojan commercials. I find a lot of those funny. When big companies try to get away with dirty humor. What was another one? Oh, there was a hot dog commercial.
Oh dear.
Where some lady was chasing around a hot dog, and it jumps up. It's like in like a hospital,
Hmm.
and it jumps up underneath of this patient's blanket, and she ends up grabbing what she thinks is the hot dog, and then you just see the hot dog running away, and she's still holding this thing.
She grabbed Oscar Mayer, but it was the wrong Oscar.
Right, exactly.
Mm.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And the dude wakes up, looks at her, screams, she screams, and the hot dog runs out of the freaking room. That was
Wow.
fucking hilarious. You guys in the chat have any
There's
favorite tongue in cheek commercials? I think this is what we'll call them tongue in cheek commercials. How's that?
Yeah.
most of those you'll find originate either out of Europe or Canada.
Oh yeah, because we
Since they are,
Americans we're too sensitive to have
yeah,
dirty
we're
commercials.
prudish.
Yeah.
We're prudish. Gonna have that. I remember watching public broadcasting where I lived. Like dumb kid, goofing around, had a TV, given a little old black and white TV.
Right.
Took an old wire coat hanger and bent them where they would stick out my bedroom window and stick out off the side of the trailer. Which I'm half wondering now if the aluminum siding and roof of the trailer didn't help actuate the antenna possibly somehow. I don't know. I was a dumb kid.
Right.
Yeah, hooked up that old TV cable, so the ribbon wire, the wire on each side of it.
Yep.
Hooked up TV, and hot dog, Dad, look at this shit. I got me some TV channels. Started watching one, some channel out of Canada, picking up a skip or something. It's like, yeah, God, what was playing I remember the name of it. Basically, some show about birds and bees. This is how babies are made.
Oh my god.
But
Sure, your
it
dad was
showed
real
a
happy
couple
about that
in
shit.
action with an internal camera when the action was completed. This is what makes the baby develop. I had to shit out my chest. I'm like, Yeah. So what do? I thought, well, this is interesting. Dad might like this because it was Dad's day off. So I went out and turned the big TV on in the living room, which happened to have the big antenna above the garage roof and the booster in broad living color.
I take it he was not too pleased with you that day?
Needless to say, well, I do believe he wore the leather out on that belt. I had to go get a new one.
Somebody's hide was
I was
tanned more than the
stung,
belt
kid. I was
was?
like, like Dad, Dad, look. Some jackass with a big nose is sick. He's throwing up. Hell, I didn't know any different. Yeah. No, he wasn't too pleased, but he wasn't half as pissed off as much as Mom was the day I found his stash of Playboy magazines.
Right.
Hid behind the wood box out by the wood stove. What you doing? Reading a book? What book you reading? I don't know. I think it's like a Boy Scout book. It says Playboy on the front of it. Yeah. What? It says what? It's got all these pictures in it, Mama. I don't know what the problem is, but they sure got some pretty pajamas. Yeah.
Should we ask Kappa if this channel is made for kids or not?
Yes, it is.
Hey.
Anybody out there that thinks kids are not learning worse than this amongst their friends in school, y'all better wake up and smell coffee.
Right?
I got in an argument with my buddy's sister, which I didn't know at the time was his sister. I posted something on his timeline on Facebook one time.
Go ahead.
I mean, covered very scantily, but she was covered. I don't remember what it was. Some kind of meme I found somewhere. I was like, well, that's pretty wild. She private messaged me and just blew me up one side and down the other about he had grandkids and he this and he that, and I finally lost my top. I said, y'all need to go get bent. I don't know where you're from, or I don't care. Frankly, if you think that his quote unquote grandkids aren't learning worse than this in school, either from the school itself or their friends or the video games and television that they have access to watch, or God forbid, do they come to your house and get on the internet? You better wake up and smell the coffee. It's like, well, he called me later. So, what's going on? I mean, what do you mean, what's going on? Well, I understand you had an argument today on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
I'm sort of scratching. Well, how the hell do you know about that? I didn't say nothing to you. And then he just lost. He started laughing his ass off. I was just, Lord, I don't want to get in the middle of anything, but you're gonna have to apologize. I said, shit. I said, that ain't gonna happen. I ain't apologizing for shit. I don't know who the hell this stupid bitch was. He's like, hey, easy.
Stupid bitch was his wife.
Okay. What do you? No, it was his sister.
Oh,
that's my best buddy's sister. Well, yeah, that's his older sister. I didn't know who his family is. I've never met him. I've only known him from, we worked at the same company and found out that we both had an interest in off-roading, NASCAR, and hunting. And we hit it off, and then we run one night. We left Chicago on our way to L.A. and just shooting the shit. We was trucking along. Next thing you know, we have to stop and get some fuel here. We got to look and jam. We might want to think about taking a nap, too. So, well, why is that? As you realize, we ain't stopped since we left the yard. Yeah, we traveled 1,100 miles. Oh, yeah, that might be just a little bit fun on the paperwork. Yeah, we could take a nap. Let the books catch up. Well, I mean, we just shooting the shit. Run to LA, reload, and run back.
Well, hey, that's the thing is, it's like even doing this show. I can sit here and do the show without like the first when Big E show up. Whatever, but the first half of the show, it works great when there's people talking in the chat, but it's also a lot slower for me up here on camera by myself than when you guys pop in. Once you guys pop in, you look at the time, it's like, oh my god, an hour and a half went by. You don't, when you have somebody to shoot the shit with, time goes by a hell of a lot faster than when you're sitting there freaking by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, geez, you've only popped in. You popped in like a half hour ago already.
Closer to an hour,
Yeah,
but
time flies when you're having
No,
fun.
no, Biggie, you popped in an hour ago.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I just got on after I left the fuel stop.
yeah, it's already been like a half hour already. Okay,
Yeah. So, updates. I don't know where you guys are at in the show.
hold on. We gotta do we gotta do your segment here,
We
Chris.
we can do well that one's easy. I got a load of apples on 21 pallets.
21 pallets of apple. What kind of apples?
Red Delicious, Granny Smiths,
You can drop some of that
Galas,
Granny Smith's my way, and the Galas.
and God, what the hell is that other one? Golden Delicious maybe.
Oh, those are good too. As long as I don't like it when they
Golden
make.
Delicious or Romans.
I don't like when they let them ripen on the truck. I'd rather have the ones that ripen out on the tree.
No, most everything we haul is already it's tree ripe already. All they do is bring it in bins and put it in the packing house in a
Right.
cooler, and then they pack them as they ship them out.
Right. The
Yeah,
problem I
most
have with the
times you
ones
see
that are
something
the ones out
ripened
here.
inside is usually bananas.
Right. But the problem is a lot of the stuff that I get in the stores now, they're grainy. Like I remember when I was a kid, you bite into a freaking apple and it was juicy. A lot of the apples that I bite into today, they're grainy and they're like I don't know, they don't taste the same.
Yeah,
They're
I mean that's a lot of the hybrid mix shit that they've been doing over the years to make them more dense. You know, more dense. It weighs more. We can sell it for a higher price, but the flavors went to hell.
Yeah, I'd rather have an apple that you bite into. And also I noticed that like the ones that are grainy, they're not crisp when you bite into them. They don't crunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They just kind of like you just I don't know, they're
the
weird. They
best
don't they don't snap.
best apple's the one like you talk about, a crisp apple. When you bit into it, it was like
It has like a nice
biting into an
snap sound
orange
to
or
it.
anything like that. The juice just went everywhere.
Right, but
I mean,
the
you take
but
a bite and
the
you got to wipe your chin off.
the flesh itself kind of snapped. You know what I mean? It kind of,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was
Kind of like a
almost
bowl of Rice Krispies when you pour the milk in, it only amplified.
right. When you bite into it, it does it. You didn't just, you didn't bite into it. It literally, it made like a snappy sound. But it's hard to
Nature's
find.
toothbrush.
Yeah, I used to love apples, and yeah, the stuff that I've gotten in the store, whatever. Every time I've ended up buying up apples, and I'm really excited to have an apple, and I bite into it, it's like, oh, this is disappointing.
The biggest bitch about the stuff you get in stores. Most of the apples you get that are in bags are actually seconds.
Really?
Because, yep, the best apples they put in the case boxes that go to your produce markets where they sell everything by the case.
Yeah.
Because they're graded on. I mean, when they check them in the house, they check them for size, uniform color, water or liquid content, and the sweetness of it. Because they'll actually taste them,
Oh,
and
see, I
and then
didn't know
that's
that.
how they. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff you get in bags has went through the packing house sort and is actually what they consider a second. It's either off a little bit in color, it's not a uniform size and shape, because they put the best apples in the case boxes.
Now, like when you go to the Walmart or something, and they have the big bins out, are those what you're talking about, the case boxes, or?
Yeah, most of your bin apples they're a bulk bin. They're better than the bags.
Okay. But the
I mean,
best.
actual case box is a tray pack. You actually have like 6. I think it's either 5 or 6 trays. It's like a cardboard tray that the apple sits in like a depression, is cradled in, so it won't move around and bruise against the other ones.
Oh, okay.
And then as a box, it's like a case of oranges or a case of lemons, but
I
it's a
don't think
tray
I
pack
don't
where
think
the
I've gone
apple's
somewhere where
actually
they.
held in place.
I don't think I've gone
That's like
somewhere where they've had those.
if you get pears, you know how pears will bruise easily because they're against
Yeah,
each
they
other.
have
You go
that. They
through a
have that.
pear.
That accordion wrap around them.
Yeah, if you get good pears, they're actually wrapped. And like, oh great, look at this! I got a gift wrap piece of fruit that I'm gonna eat. Yeehaw! Which I joke with the guys at the pack house. You know, if I eat about 6 of them, that'd be great because when they activate, I can reuse that paper to clean up with. You know, so it's kind of smart on your part, but y'all need to get rid of some of those little, you know, you need to get rid of some of them holes and make it a little more solid. Yeah, they laugh about it, but
Right.
even potatoes are sorted crazy. You know, from your bagged potatoes into your, you know, buy them by the case in a box or whatever. Yeah, it's like a 50-pound bag of potatoes is actually the worst grading.
All right. There's a wild Lucy behind you there, Biggie.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, it just took off.
He's gone.
So, let's see, updates.
Well, yeah. What's wrong with the truck? Is that what we're at?
No, nothing.
Well, this piece of shit still has its electronic issues with no windshield wiper washers, and the engine brake don't sound right. But the fat ass loosened up behind the wheel that steers the wheel screwed up 2 a.m. Monday, and he's now on crutches all week.
Yeah, I remember that. I let you screw up during my last live stream.
Right after that,
did I talk to you?
We got released.
I could have sworn you were on crutches during my last live stream. I had to have been right before it.
I won the last one.
I had to have been right before it.
Yeah, I was right probably 2 hours before.
Yeah, it was like right before.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours before. But yeah, we got spun out on the side of the mountain because everybody in front of us was spun out in a snowstorm. We had to chain up and went to put my rubber tension strap, which is basically like a big rubber O-ring, bungee cord.
Right.
That holds the tension on the cables once you get it on the tire. And I was trying to pull them up to hook it at the top of the thing, and the foot slipped on the leg with the knee that we had injured last year, and we went down on our ass and folded the knee underneath us.
Oof. So
which immediately went poof.
How's it feeling this week?
That sucks because I just did it this past Monday.
Oh, so it still sucks?
Yeah, I mean, it's still swelled some and a little bit of pain in it. Nothing major, but I immediately put myself on the crutches that I had in the truck and ice packed it whenever I stopped because Miss Foreman got ice packs to put in the freezer of the truck. That way, you know, maybe I get back there and see the doctor that there's not going to be a major snafu. Well, you know, hey, son, we're going to give you 2 weeks off work. Yeah, like hell you are, doc.
Right? I barely made it last time you did that. So this one shouldn't be what's wrong with the truck. This should be what's wrong with Chris.
Shit, you could do an entire show like that for probably 6 months and never cover every subject twice.
Right?
Depending who you talk to and bring in on that itinerary.
Well, I'll catch you up to, I can catch up to speed. There's nothing wrong with Big E's vehicle that hasn't already been wrong with it. And we did the front brakes on the gray car, so that's done. And I did the camshaft position sensor and the spark plugs on the green car. 160.
Yeah, that's a question. What's with the spark plugs? Just
160
or
it was 160,000 miles on one set of spark plugs. Those were the original spark plugs that were in that car.
Goddamn.
And
I mean, what
I'm not sure if you
I
saw.
Look at driving, they didn't look like they were too bad.
You know how an electrode normally is like flat? It kind of looks like the end of a pencil.
Okay, so a little warped and wore out then.
No, these ones look like the other end of the pencil. The pointed end.
Oh.
That's listening.
And the thing is the electrode that comes up off the side and then like kind of hovers over the inner electrode. Yep, it was a point as well.
Oh.
Like let's see if I can. No, that's wrong. I don't. Again, I hate.
Those are better than the plugs that they took out of my pickup last year. Some of them was missing the center electrode of the plug completely. All they had was the threaded base that screwed into the engine.
Yeah, that's never any good.
No.
I thought I had timing chain or stretch issues or something, or the cam adjusters. And
All right.
yeah, they went in and looked. Says, yeah, we tore it apart. Look, you need plugs. Put plugs in it then. We fixed it.
Oh dear.
You shitting me? Okay.
There you go, Chris.
Oh. Hey, I saw something that resembled that in the last time I went to a dentist office, and it went. Wee! I'm like, nope, not today.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be gapped at 40 thousandths. That I definitely bet you that's closer than 40 thousandths because the electrode head started hopping from one end of the freaking gap to the other, and then closed it in. So yeah, it wasn't running too great.
No.
And
Now,
also,
what do you guys think of those plugs? Oh, what the hell are they? Diamond Fire, Recap? I can't even remember the name of them right now.
they've had so many different types of freaking plugs out there. I remember
Yeah,
having
it's that
like
one they
the
were bragging about for a
split
while.
fire,
Like
then they went to the tri
that's it.
fire, and then they went to
That's
the
it.
to
Split
the
fires.
right, and then they went to the ones that had 4 electrodes. They've tried everything under the sun.
What are you guys' thoughts on them, or is it
The
all
only
just
problem
a
with
bunch
that
of
is when you have a split
poop
fire,
nooey?
at that point you have you're going to have two different ignition sources. You know what I mean? So you have the potential of ending up with 2 separate waves, which we all know what happens when you have those inside of an engine. That's never a good thing. You end up with detonation.
Mm-hmm.
No, your best bet. I mean, it's all a gimmick to get people that don't know the inside of cars. I mean, these ones here were NGKs, just a standard plug, and this was also like a sports model. Do you know what I threw in it? I threw in it just regular copper Champion spark plugs.
And NGK makes a damn good plug if you want to pay the price for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know what was in it. I just went on Rock Auto, and yeah, I found the cheapest good plug I can find, and I threw it in it. It wasn't until I pulled them out that I realized that the old ones were NGKs. But again, those plugs lasted 160,000 miles.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, you get what you pay for. You can buy a cheap set and 60, 70,000 miles, change them out again, or
right. I guarantee you these copper ones aren't going to last that long.
Oh no.
I don't think the car is going to last long enough for if I were to throw another NGK set in there for the car to last that long.
Probably not.
I don't think that engine's going to last another 160,000 miles. So yeah, I don't have any problems throwing a set of copper spark plugs in that thing because they will work just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did I run in my Nova? I do believe I ran Autolite Platinums, I think. Or AC. No, they were Autolite Platinums is what I ran in the Nova. I have not changed the spark plugs in the Trans Am yet or in the truck, so
the list is too long. I think she's saying we couldn't do a show on me. What's wrong with me?
Probably.
Yeah.
It would have to be a series.
I changed the plugs in my truck 2-ish, 3-ish months ago.
How bad was how hard was the number 8 cylinder, the passenger side far back one? How hard was that one to get to?
Couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it?
No, I couldn't even get the plug wires. Well, there's the 8 and the 6 cylinder. I could not get the plug wires off.
Why? Because they were hitting something, or?
No, because you got to think. I mean, like, look at my arms. Like, I can almost wrap my hand around my arms. I'm not the strongest person in the world, and you are expecting me. Well, technically, GM is expecting me to be able to reach all the way back in that engine bay with my arm all the way outstretched and be able to get enough leverage to pull that spark plug wire off. I don't even know how long it's been on there.
Hey, go underneath.
No, yeah, let me just crawl onto the ground. Yeah. I don't even have ramps.
You get those two from underneath. Am I not right, Chris?
Pretty much.
My brother and I, we were able to get 1, 3, 5 and 7.
Yeah.
We're able to get those ones, just not 6 and 8.
Yeah, you get those ones from underneath.
Or what the hell car was that? I had a car one time that you did all the spark plug, either underneath or you took the inner fender well out, a pan out of the inner fender well because you couldn't get them from the top.
I'm not
I
jacking.
can't remember what the hell it was now.
Just
Not
think about
jacking up the goddamn truck, dude.
and the thing is, you don't need to jack up the car. Your car's freaking not that freaking low to the ground, man. You can climb underneath of that fucking car, reach up there and grab that shit.
I could, but I prefer not to.
Nah, whatever. I've had to
I
do
don't
worse.
coming that much longer anyway. I'll be like, look, there's 2 spark plugs in the center console. Those first the 7 or the 6 and 8 cylinder. You're welcome.
Yeah. Like, geez, a lot of the Fords, you have to take off like half the top of the engine to get to it.
Oh, my mom's old Colorado. There was like a resonator on top of the head, so you had to like take all the intake off to get to the plugs.
Yeah. The Fords, the intake literally lays over top of the whole one bank of spark plugs.
That's dumb.
So you literally have to take the intake off to get to the spark plugs. If you own a Cadillac, a North Star, to replace the starter, you have to take the intake out.
No, because it's in the V of the engine.
Because, yeah, it's in the center of the engine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Other stupid shit. To do the thermostat on a Cavalier. Okay, thermostat housing. You know, the little stupid 50-cent part, right?
Yeah.
You have to drop the whole exhaust. Because there's no way. Okay. If your car is together long enough that it needs the thermostat replaced, there is no way you're disconnecting the back half of the exhaust from the exhaust manifold itself.
Oh.
There's no way. Because as soon as you attempt it, something's going to break.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the bolts or something, you're going to end up replacing that exhaust system. So to get that thermostat out without having to replace your exhaust system, you have to disconnect the manifold from the head. You have to disconnect the hangers underneath the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then you I took a pry bar and slammed the whole exhaust as far back up against the firewall as it'll go. And then wedged a block in there. Because then you have to reach down in between that area. So down in between the exhaust and the head. And the thermostat housing, which is actually a tube that runs from the driver's side of the engine across the back of the engine into the water pump on the passenger side of the engine.
That's dumb.
And the thermostat housing is all the way on the driver's side, right above the transmission, and you have to reach in between the engine and the transmission to take out 2 bolts and slide that tube forward into the water pump housing and out of the way. So you have to like slide it in and then out of the way. And then you can get the little plastic hub that slides into that housing. You have to pull that hub out, and then the thermostat will fall out. And you have to get all that back together, and you can't see any of it. You have to do it all by feel because you can't see it. Trust me, I have a video on it, and I got people bitch at me all the time. I can't see what you're doing. Well, duh, I can't see what I was doing either. How did you expect me to show you what I can't see?
That'll remind you of fumbling around in the dark with no lights the first time trying to unhook certain articles or something.
Right? But then again,
Just,
you know, most of my car work experience, if you can't use your hands as eyeballs, well, then you might as well not even start. Right, because most of mechanics work isn't actually seeing what you're doing; it's feeling what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, your face is up here staring at the freaking underside of the hood, while your hands reaching all the way fucking over here, you know, trying to reach something way down in there, and hoping you don't drop the freaking nut or the freaking socket. Or the wrench.
The most aggravating part to that is that one little bolt that you got to stick. You can feel the hole, you can feel the threads and whatever with your finger, but you can't get that bolt started to save your life.
Yep. Transmission lines.
And if it does start, it's cross-threaded.
Transmission lines are the bane of my existence. Transmission and brake fluid lines. Oh, I fucking hate those.
trying to get the flare started right in the straight so that it'll seal.
Right? And so that way the threads will thread on. Oh, especially when they're all hardline.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have to remove the rear end and gas tank to replace full pump. Yeah, unless you're like half of the freaking F body world that'll just cut a freaking hole in the trunk.
Yeah. Or
I'm
like the
sorry.
damn
Yes,
Suburban
people
engine.
make fun of people that get upset at that. I get upset at that because it's not really that hard to just drop the tank. It's just people being
Yeah, not on
freaking
them.
lazy. Yeah, it's easy. I mean, I had people, they do the same thing. Okay, Dodge Ram trucks. It's not that freaking hard to take out the 6 bolts that hold the bed down and lift the bed up off of the freaking fuel tank. But people still cut holes in the bed of their trucks to access the fucking fuel pump.
Dirt.
It's just, I mean, to me, okay, fine. Would you do that to a customer's car? And
Hell
some people
no.
would say yes.
Depends on what shop you go to.
I guarantee you, if I took my Trans Am into a shop and they cut a hole in the trunk of my fucking floor to replace the fuel pump, I'm taking somebody to court.
Oh yeah.
And the mechanic that did it's pushing daisies.
But the thing is there's people that do it all the motherfucking time. I think if we remember watching way back when Diablo Formula Racing, when they did Nick's fuel system, they did that to his car.
Oof.
And that was like one of the straws. Like that was like right before they had the issue with the. I mean, granted, yes, in the F body community, people do it all the time. I don't agree with it, and if I was a customer taking my car there and they did it to my car, I wouldn't put up with it. The average F body owner wouldn't have given it a second look. But I feel that it is really bad. Well, I shouldn't say work ethic, but
it's bad PR.
Yeah, it's just bad.
Work ethic and bad PR.
If you're gonna cut
I have
hole,
my fuel pump replaced. Hey, look what they did here. It's just simple. They took this, cut that out, they changed it out. It run great, dude. They cut a. They just devalued your car. They cut a hole in the bodywork.
Yeah.
That's a rust spot now forever.
Right. Not to mention fumes.
Yeah.
And not to mention, why would I want an access point for fuel to enter my vehicle? I mean, because if that gas tank goes, where's the first person it's going to go through? Oh, but we sealed it up with duct tape.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, duct tape was flammable.
Yeah. That or that damn spray foam, the expanding foam you get in a can.
Yeah, the last time I checked, that shit was flammable too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even more so.
Not to mention, you just took a cutting. Not to mention, you just took a cutting wheel around the top of my fuel tank.
Mm-hmm.
You realize you could have just lit my damn car on fire?
Yeah, then they'd have a whole new set of problems.
You know, but then the other thing is some of their freaking, and I'm surprised they don't have somebody in this chat room ready to defend this shit. I was hoping somebody would be. But
it's
then
like
you have
watching some of these reality car shows that they got on TV now, and you see some of the shit they do restoring the cars. Like, dude, you never. Okay, a prime example. If Nikolai was here, he'd have a field day. I watched this new show that's on Monday nights, 911 Lone Star.
Okay, I don't watch TV, so go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, it's about a guy from New York that he was in 911, yada yada, and went down. He rebuilt a fire station down near Austin, Texas, and he's a captain down there now. Well, they show up at a car wreck where a car texting or goofing around, or actually they were getting a phone from the backseat passenger to plug in charge. And the semi she was following hit the brakes because of the vehicle that went across the road in front of me.
All right.
And she slammed up underneath the trailer up to the windshield.
Okay.
Well, the fire department shows up. They get the guy stopped because he's driving down the road with the car wedged under the back bumper.
Sorry, I got a little bit of toilet paper on the bottom of my foot.
Yeah, a little bit of tire fire and that going on. Well, so get everything stopped, and get the jaws of life, get the cribbing, get this and that, yada yada yada. Give me the K12 saw, and then the captain proceeds to cut the B pillar. which is your center post on your car,
Mhm.
where your driver's door latch is on, for those that don't know, proceeds to cut that with a K12 saw, which is nothing more than a chainsaw with a big cutoff wheel, and sparks everywhere. You never, ever, ever, anywhere use a K12 saw in auto extrication, period.
Mhm.
No, you use
That's
the
why the jaws
life.
of life were invented, or you use a hacksaw with a soap spray bottle.
Yeah, because
So
one
it's
spark, if you got a freaking ruptured fuel line anywhere,
yep,
Mhm.
and
then
it
not
just
only are you,
cracked me up.
yeah, then not are you only freaking trying to get somebody out of a vehicle, but you're trying to do it now before the whole car goes up.
Which I've seen it more times than not, especially in Hollywood or TV. You get somebody driving a car, hey, let's cut the roof off. Well, you see them cutting the roof off, and the sparks are flying through the open, busted window on the patient.
Right.
It's like, hello, those are metal fragments.
So
you didn't cover the eyes, you didn't cover the face. I was like,
all right. Grim says.
Miss Turner said, well,
go ahead.
They don't know about that.
All right. Well, Grim has a comment to what he said. I've been a tech for over 20 years, and I've only had to cut a hole in one truck because the tank strap bolts were going to break off, and the box bolts were just as bad as the truck, and the truck was only worth $500. Yeah, I mean, there's a point. Depends on what you're doing with it. I mean,
Yeah.
And again, at that point, you're getting the consumer's consent, and the consumer's giving that consent. But the thing is if all they're really trying to do is limp the truck around until the expiration wears, the inspection wears out or whatever, that's one thing. But some of these people are cutting up perfectly good fucking fourth gen F bodies and shit like that. They're gorgeous cars, and just just cut a hole in the trunk.
Yeah, for real.
If somebody told me to do that, like when I had the fuel pump issue in the truck, somebody told me to cut the hole in the bed in the corner. I was like, fuck no, I'm not cutting it. My bed does not have a damn hole in it. I'm not cutting a damn hole in it.
Yeah.
And again, you gotta. The whole point of a truck is to be able to fill the bed with shit. Now I have a freaking hole in the corner of my freaking bed.
And then you can't fill it with shit.
Exactly. Now, or even if I patch it and close it back up, well, now I have a weak spot. And I throw a load of stone in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you've got the instant tailgater. Oh, what's the word we want?
Give them a minute.
Tailgater inhibitor?
Oh. It's
pick the second word you want. You go around the corner, you throw some gravel out through the hole in the bed, and it scatters underneath the truck, and bing, 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 all over the car behind you that wants to suck your bumper off your ass.
I don't know. I find there are a lot of corners that you can cut. Like I said, the one with the Cavalier where I just slide the exhaust all the way back instead of taking it off. There's corners that you can cut like that where you're not hurting anything. Yes, you're saving time. You're not doing it necessarily completely by the book. But you're not sitting there and, I mean, it might as well be at that. That's just. I mean, again, it's almost as bad as the heater core thing that I dealt with. My most popular video that I have to date is the one where I literally show people how to put the heater core in without having to cut the damn tubes. I mean, I understand you kind of have to cut the stock tubes because they don't flex and they don't move. You cut the old ones out, yes. But most of these modern heater cores that they have out today, they swivel.
Have adjustable tubes in them.
Right. There's no and I still watch people cut them. By the time you spent the time to cut those tubes, I could have had the damn heater core in already.
Yeah. Now the age-old argument, and this more rear wheel standard configuration V8 transmission vehicles. Engine blows up, you got to change the engine. Do you leave the transmission in the car, or do you pull it out with the engine?
It depends on again what I'm doing and the type of car. Chevys, I'll just disconnect it. I mean, I'd rather. I mean, I granted, yeah, the transmission's easier to hook back up to. Well, no, with a Chevy's, it's really fucking simple. You got your two bolts at the top, and then two on each side. You pull your freaking your scatter shield at the bottom. You take your freaking three or four bolts off of the freaking
Torque converter,
torque converter. You pull your two pins for the
flywheel to torque
freaking
converter bolts.
motor, and you yank the son of a bitch out. You know, I don't normally pull the transmission out when I pull the engine out unless I need to do something with the transmission. Now, the Ford that my mom has in her Explorer, that's a freaking bitch to freaking hook up to the engine underneath the car. Because the only way to get to the flywheel, the flex plate bolts, is through the starter hole. Because
Oh
there's
dear.
no
Yeah,
there's no
typical
pan
Ford,
on the bottom.
because they didn't run a plate.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't run a plate or a cover.
So at that point, no, pull that damn transmission out with it. Because it's easier to hook that transmission to that engine where you can actually get to it and freaking, but like with a Chevy, no, fuck that. And even with the Dodge is not that much of a pain in the ass to connect the two.
Yeah, I've seen more arguments start around that kind
Now,
of stuff. There's
the
like,
thing is if you have
say, you got to take the transmission out. And,
no, I don't.
oh,
Especially,
you don't.
especially not if you
And,
have especially not if you have a trans jack. If you have a trans jack, you're golden. But I've done it with just a fucking regular jack and a 2x4. Hell, I've stabbed the transmission.
If you've got a fully equipped shop, no big deal.
Right. I have went back when I was younger, before I had this freaking pain in the ass job for the last 10 years. When I had my Nova was on the street. I stabbed the automatic transmission in my Nova up on the engine by hand. Literally just bench press the sucker up on. In fact, that was even easier than using the jack.
That's fun, isn't it?
It didn't bother me then. Could I do it today? Probably not.
I know I couldn't.
Give me a couple months, I'll probably be able to.
Mm-hmm.
But today, no, forget it. No, I'm so out of shape right now. It's freaking, it's stupid.
Now wait a minute. Come on, round is a shape. It comes in different sizes.
Oh yeah, at that point, yeah, you're correct. But no,
you can think of it like bowling. You go from kids to adults. The balls are all round. They're just different sizes around.
So what is let's see. Grin's been doing this for 20 years. What's his biggest pet peeve? I want to say, what's his biggest pet peeve of a shop cutting corners?
Having to buy a special damn tool to use on one vehicle for one job and probably never use it again.
No. I said pet peeve to cut corners. Like somebody that like the freaking fuel door hatch on the F bodies.
Oh, or you mean the one where they come in and he's got to fix somebody's F up?
Yeah, when you come in to go work on a vehicle and you see where somebody freaking completely butchered a vehicle to cut corners.
Jury rigged it.
Yeah.
Engineered it.
Yeah,
Redneck engineering.
I was gonna say we'll leave it at that because I know there's other ones that you can use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Redneck engineering. That covers everything.
There you go. I have no problem throwing rednecks under the bus because I'm one myself. So.
Exactly. And hey, we've all been there. I mean, who hasn't dropped a muffler or a tailpipe and used an old wire coat hanger to hang it up? So yeah, I'll get a hanger for that. Well, here 6-7 months later when the wire hanger rusts into, and then you remember, I never fixed that.
Well, I mean, like when I had when I first got my Nova, I had to replace the ball joints. I'm broke kid, whatever, just trying to get shit done, and I didn't realize that I needed a special tool to press them in. I was young, stupid, and I was the top ones you just drill out the freaking rivet and they bolt in, and then the bottom ones you have to press in. Well, I took the jack underneath of the freaking ball joint, and I beat the A-arm down onto the ball joint. It worked. It got it in. Do I know that there's a better way to do that now? Yeah.
Mhm.
You go down to your local parts store, you go borrow the damn freaking ball joint press, and you put it in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
What's
was like,
stupid if it doesn't work?
well, at that point though, the other thing is at that point is my Nova was my only transportation.
Hmm.
I already had the all old ball joint out and that whole front corner already disassembled. I had no way to get to the parts store to go get the tool at that
Yeah.
point.
Oh God, that reminds me of the conversation I had where we park our truck out here. The guy that owns the
Well,
place
hold on.
a couple months ago.
Chris, give me 10 seconds. The other thing is I had to use this car to get to work by 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Oof.
So the car had to go back together.
One way or another.
It was going back together one way or the other. You're right.
Let's
Tell you
get
what,
some
that ball
concrete. Put
joint,
them in the.
that ball joint is still in that AR.
Mhm.
So that's 15 years ago.
Wasn't there some car that? Wait, can't remember if it was Ford, Chevy, or Dodge, but they like drove it across the country with like legit one front tire, and the car was so well balanced, it didn't need the other tire.
It wouldn't be well balanced at that point then because it means that the weight was shifted to one side over the other.
Yeah,
Because if it was balanced, no, the second you went around the corner, it would drop on that one side and it'd be done.
yeah, it was just some PR thing. We're like, look at what our car can do
Yeah.
when you put like 500 pounds of weight in one corner of the trunk.
Here in the Rust Belt, people grind the new brake pads to fit when it's the other parts so rusty they won't slide in. I always sandblast the parts or grind off the rust and the new pads will slide in. Yeah, and the problem is if you grind the pads to fit the rust, well then the pads aren't going to slide like they're supposed to, and you're going to end up with uneven pad wear anyway. So yeah, I mean it's just that just freaking do your job correctly. I mean, uh, it just makes me cringe when people. I mean, like I said, there's corners you can cut, and then there's just being freaking damn right stupid and lazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, if you're
there's
working,
cutting corners, and then there's like not trying to take the turn entirely.
yeah, because yeah, there's like I said, there's always things you can do to lessen the time it takes you to do a job. Because if you're getting paid per flat rate, you get paid by doing the job quicker than what the book says to do. That's how you make your money. But there are certain things that you shouldn't be sacrificing to do. I mean, let's see, doing the front hub on my truck. I talked about this last week. Instead of getting a press in there to press stuff out, you throw a socket on the back of the bolt after you back the bolt out a little bit, and you turn the wheel and you use the socket as a press.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot quicker than trying to sit there and beat the damn freaking shit out of the hammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's like I said, there's some simple cuts you can do to where you can lessen the time it takes to do something, and then there's just things that you shouldn't do, but people do. And that's like the heater core thing. People say that the heater core is supposed to take like freaking hours to do on the Dodge
8 hours.
trucks. Dude, I had the dash out and the new heater core in less than 3 hours, and I was filming. I was filming for a video and still got it out in under 4 hours. And back in.
I
Because
only
there's-
know that because I know the time they quoted us to do ours.
Right, but the thing is there's tricks. You don't take the dash all the way out. You take the bolts out, you leave everything hooked up, because that's where you lose all your time, is disconnecting everything from the dash.
Oh yeah.
You leave it all fucking hooked up, you take the bolts out, and you pull the dash away from the freaking, away from the...
Outside of the firewall.
Yeah, away from the firewall, and I just ratchet strapped it to the freaking, the hand pull on the passenger side, just ratchet strapped it up there, and gave me plenty of room to get underneath the dash to be able to get to the top of the freaking heater core. Pulled it the hell out, threw the new one back in, and had the dash back in and hooked up in no time at all. It was freaking easier to do it on that than it was to do it on my damn Nova.
Mhm.
And my Nova, the freaking heater core is literally right there. There's just
Yeah.
freaking 30 some fucking bolts you got to get it out.
That you got to take out from the engine compartment.
Yeah, from both sides, the
Most
engine
of them.
compartment and
Yeah.
the freaking.
Most of them.
And if you have an air
And the other side,
conditioning unit in there, just forget it.
I
And you have
had
to,
do
yeah,
one
yeah,
in
you
the
have to
76 Olds Omega that I had.
right. To be able to drop that, you have to be able to drop that, you have to drop the inner fender on the passenger side, and you have to, you have to get to that all those bolts and everything, and you have to drop the stuff down underneath in the dash. So yeah, the truck was easier than my freaking Nova was to do. At least they gave you an access point on the freaking truck.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Grim says, I know this is dumb, but I mount every tire the same so that the lettering lines up with the valve stem and all the center caps line up with the same, but I'm fussed. And the thing is it doesn't take long to do that. Plus, not to mention, when you go to throw the wheel up onto the hub, it's a hell of a lot easier to line it up if you know exactly where everything is every time you throw it up on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is actually a spot marked on every single tire that they actually, like some of the main manufacturers' tires, they have a spot marked on the tire where you should be putting the valve stem because of the way that the tire was made and the way they balance it.
Yeah.
That they have a like a colored dot that they mark on the edge of the tire for where the valve stem should be per weighted of the tire itself, and it helps you keep the weights down that go on the.
Yeah, so you either don't need to use weights or need less of them.
Right.
There was Car
But
Throttle on
a lot of
Facebook
people
and
don't know
YouTube.
that
They
though.
But
They'll actually I'll let you get to yours in a second. They actually have the heaviest part of the tire marked, and they have the mark where they want you to put the valve stem on the tire. Okay,
anyway, Car Throttle did a video. I forget what kind of a car it was, but they were trying to see how much faster they can make the car by like taking stuff out, putting good tires on there and wheels, and they actually pointed out there's like a little blue dot, I think it was, on the tire, and they're like, this is where the valve stem is supposed to go. It's supposed to go as close to this as possible, so you don't need to use as many wheel weights. And they only had to put wheel weights on, I think, one tire on the one wheel in the whole car.
Yeah, it's exactly it. There should be a red dot, a yellow dot, and a blue dot. I forget what the yellow dot is. The red dot is the heaviest part of the tire.
No, the yellow dot's just there to distract you.
Maybe. But yeah,
Actually, no, let's Google this. We have the
actually.
entirety of human knowledge at our fingertips.
Yep. I mean, and that's just another thing. Like, do you know that most of the time they will not save your valve stem unless your valve stem has these newer
Oh wait, what?
when you go to take your tire to go get changed, right? Unless you have one of the newer style cars with the tire pressure sensor,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time they'll take a pair of dikes and they'll literally rip your valve stem out.
Oh.
Why? Do you know why? That valve stem literally costs like 10 cents.
Yeah.
And the amount of time that they save by ripping that valve stem out to deflate that tire is worth it, because they literally just go through. And I used to do tires. So you take your long hand. It's normally a dike that's about like this long. It's a long handled dike, and you just go in there. You grab the freaking edge of the valve stem. You just yank, and it snaps the back half of the valve stem off. It'll just drop down into the tire, and all the air will come out pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so while you're sitting there doing it, you'll just go through, yank, 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 all four tires. By the time that you get done yanking the last valve stem off, you can take the first tire, throw it up on the machine, freaking pop the wheel off, throw it up on the freaking dismounter, dismount it, lube it up, throw the other one on. You know what I mean? Put it back on. Before you throw the other tire on, you pop the new valve stem in, right? And then you throw the tire on, pull it on, freaking throw it up on the inflator, because it just throws. I lie. I'm doing this wrong. Yank the old valve stem out, throw it up on the bead breaker, pop it off the bead, pull the old tire off. You're going to pull the new valve stem in. You're going to thread out the little valve. Throw the air tool on, pop the beads, throw the valve stem back in, fill it up with air, then throw it on the balancer, and you're done. It's
and charge the customer $2.50 for the valve stem.
Yep.
It had a leak in it.
No. Actually, most of the time they just absorb that. It's part of the tire. It actually is automatically part of it.
So this means the next time you go to a tire shop and you know there's this one particular cocky, know-it-all jackass, you go in there with your new tire with a bunch of red dots all over it and says, I want him to do it, but tell him, watch out for the tires having an identity crisis. It's identifying with measles this week.
Oh, there's something wrong with you, Chris.
Lack of sleep.
Probably. Lack of sleep and watching too many freaking yellow and white lines.
Hey, at least I can see lines this week.
Hey, Mr. Pilot's still here.
Monday was really questionable on everything.
You realize it's been basically almost another hour since the last time I commented about the fact that it was almost, we've been sitting here chit-chatting already?
Yeah.
So I missed the points again. Nobody reminded me at 11 o'clock to give more points.
Oh.
So everybody gets 50 more points. Woo-hoo.
It was interesting last week, 10 mile an hour, 15 tops, low beam headlights, and the snow coming down so fast and hard at you that you look like you were in hyperspace from an issue of Star Trek. I mean, the time I stopped on the side of the mountain and got my cables on the tires so that I could then motivate to get going again, and the traffic cleared in front of us. I mean, we're half hour, 45 minutes tops. It dropped 9 inches of snow on the base of my windshield on the hood.
Right.
Jeez.
Let's see where we're at here. I don't know. I haven't seen it do anything recently, so I don't know if it's still working.
So, new additions to the corral.
Oh, that's right. You're always getting new shit. I'm too broke to get new shit.
Same.
One day you'll be able to do it too. It's like half argument I had with the guy, and his question was, why do you own so many vehicles? Because I've been there with one vehicle. When it broke down, I didn't have one. I was sick of that shit, and I can afford to keep them insured and on the road. What business is it of yours? You're being paid a rental fee to park them here. Well, you're one person. You got 4 vehicles. And your point is?
Mrs. Formula said she broke 100.
Mm-hmm.
She was freaking killing it last year, man.
Yeah.
So she is. Hold on, let me get back to this. Royalty points, hours. She is now 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't count myself. 5th in watch hours.
Sweet Jesus.
She's got an hour and 20, an hour and a quarter under her belt. Which that doesn't seem right, but I guess it is.
Oh.
Pilot's got 2.7, 2 3/4 now. Because it used to be her and Pilot that were like neck and neck.
Yeah.
Now it's Pilot 2 1/4, 2 3/4, Mission Mechanic at 2.42, Grimm's Auto Service at 2.33, which I don't know how that's possible either. Because he's like always in the live stream, even if he's not freaking talking. He's like always here. So, go ahead.
I think they must have messed up with something.
What?
Something with your, something with however they keep track of who's watched for how long.
Because you're still not on here.
I've been sitting here for 2 hours with the fucking, I don't know.
The live stream playing and the StreamYard open?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely just not even registering that you're here. Maybe because you haven't commented in the chat.
Well, I can fix that. There.
I'll have to reload this and see what it comes up again. See if it shows you're here this time. Because that might be it. It may not count you unless you're being actively talking.
Rude.
I'm gonna laugh if you're here now. Nope.
Just punch my webcam.
Right?
Bam!
I don't know. I don't remember what it said that this is formula was at the start of this show. I don't think it was very much. At the start of the show, I don't think it was very long. But, yeah. Excuse me.
On a different note, has anyone seen, well, I don't think anyone in here follows Formula One too much.
No.
Or too closely, at least.
I like it, but I don't follow it that closely.
All right, well, Mercedes has innovated again in a major way, and the thing they invented is already banned next year.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. Formula One would be so innovative, and then every time someone thinks something new, they ban it. But what they have is legal for this year, at least.
It's annoying because they like Formula One used to have all of the best stuff, and now they have restricted everything to the point to where like their cars are not.
There's
exciting.
no innovation.
Yeah, it's not exciting anymore. There's so many rules and regulations in every little tiny freaking thing that the cars are almost all identical.
That's all aspects of racing.
I wouldn't even say they're identical because more popular, more well-funded teams can put more money into R&D and
they're literally tracking down ghosts.
Yeah, the first year they had the turbo cars for Mercedes figured out that they could put instead of having like a normal turbo where the turbine and the compressor are like this far apart, they put the turbine on the front and the compressor on the rear with a shaft linking them, like right in the V of the engine, so it just kept it nice and hot and kept the energy going, and they could spool up the turbo like that and just rip right down a straightaway right out of a corner. But anyway, hold on. I share screen. I no share audio, and I bring up this video.
Okay, well, I don't know. I got to bring up the screen here.
It's a unique concept, that's for sure.
You should just blow up the screen so we can see the screen instead of just the. There we go.
You happy now? I even got it muted, so there you go. All right, so just
well, as long as there's not as long as there isn't
music.
Yeah. So what do? He pulled the steering wheel away from the.
Yeah, just watch. Just as he pulls.
Oh, he's adjusting tow.
Yeah.
So he's
just by pushing and pulling on the steering column.
He's towing in. Well, you would think that he would tow in to go around corners, wouldn't he?
No, tow out is what you want around corners.
Oh, okay. More stable.
Yeah, it gives the car more turn in and makes it more stable. And then when he pushes it, it straightens out the toe, so it can go down the straightaway, and it doesn't cause uneven wear on the tires and reduces drag a little bit, so he even gets more top speed probably.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it's banned next year.
So instead of it banning it, they should just adopt it for everybody.
Yeah, they need to stop banning shit. Like, how can you innovate in a series?
That saves tire wear.
Like, nope, get out.
That saves tire wear, makes the cars more stable in the corner. You'd think you'd want that.
Yeah, it's not computer controlled. He's still got to push or pull on the steering column to do it.
And at the same time, he's running over 100 mile an hour in a lot of instances.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. The sad thing is I've lost interest in a lot of motorsports except for like homebrewed shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even looking at I went on eBay and I started looking at the prices of some of the diecasts that I lost. And you know what? Honestly, I was like, oh my god, because NASCAR has become so unpopular that the cars that I had that were worth a fortune are worth like nothing.
Oh.
Because I have like this right here is a Jeff Gordon flag. It's one of those really, really big ones you see on the RVs at the racetrack.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
$20.
Wow.
I tell you what, I paid like 40 for that flag when it was new.
God damn.
The like one of 2,000 die casts that I had gotten off like QVC and shit that are supposed to be worth like I bought them, they were like well over $100.
Yeah.
I'm finding them on eBay for like 20 to $35.
Jesus.
I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, these cars were supposed to go up in value, and this is Jeff Gordon. He's no longer racing.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the guys that retire, their cars, their collectible stuff goes through the roof. I mean, the only other reason they would go even more through the roof is if he died. But like this stuff is going for like cheap because nobody NASCAR has basically lost its following,
Yeah.
and it's their own damn fault.
Thank you, Brian France.
Yeah, let's just appease all of the fucking newbies that don't really care about NASCAR that are just here because it's a fad.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he had to remove himself from the top spot because of the same thing he was bitching about drivers.
What?
Drug policy infraction.
Oh, he was doing drugs.
Yeah, he got arrested, either crack or heroin or something like that. He was arrested for.
That's okay. They let that damn freaking sport go down the damn toilet because they were too worried about freaking appeasing freaking sponsors and fans that weren't even fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all the car shit they did on you, like the car tomorrow, the big spoiler, wings shit that
It's
they
not
had.
even just that. They changed
He was,
all of the rules. They made it so that way the freaking
yep,
racing was dependent on shit that didn't even freaking matter. And
is,
then
is basically, it's our sandbox. You're going to play by our rules or you won't play at all.
And the thing, yeah, like I said, that first year that Jimmy Johnson won the fucking championship, you realize if that would have been done by the old rules, Jeff Gordon would have won that by a mile.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, when you see shit like that, it's like, it's not about racing anymore. It's about freaking conserving and whatever. It's like, why should anyone freaking, throw everything they have at a race if they don't even if that's not even going to let them make them win. And then the fans saw it and the fans left. When you have freaking
It's like
convenient
Kyle
cautions
Busch
all
with
the
his
freaking
first
time.
championship.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's just
Brand new car of the year. He wrecks in an Xfinity race, breaks both legs. He's out for half the season. Comes back,
still ends up winning the championship.
wins like the next three races, 3 out of 5 races in a car that he hadn't driven at all because it was a new car, new rules package, yada yada yada. Yeah, and ends up winning the championship, which, quote unquote, per NASCAR rule book, to be eligible for a championship, you must start every race of the year.
No, the
But
team
they
must
made
start
an
every year.
exception.
I thought it was the team had to start. That's why they were using replacement drivers and shit.
The original rule book, the driver had to start every race, even if
the original rule book. Yeah, you had
put
to
another driver in it.
right. You had to at least run one lap, and then they can throw another driver in there. Because I remember they do that a lot of times. They would run around one lap and then do a driver switch, just that way the driver started the race.
Yep, he started the race and he was eligible, and he missed half the season. Then they changed, did the adjustment, or well, if you do this, okay. The shit's too competitive to someone that hasn't driven a car. I don't care how good of a driver you are. You're not going to come in and win 3 out of 5 races in a car that you have no experience in because you hadn't driven the thing all year long. I mean, everybody else is going to be that far advanced in their practice and, learning the car and how the car operates at that level. But, hey, like you said, it was all money generated.
You want to hear some funny shit? A lovely bunch of coconuts is now on the scoreboard.
Oh my god.
You have 1 point and 0.08 hours.
What the fuck?
I think it's because you have to be. Now, I could be my fault. It could be my fault because I might have I have settings, loyalty system enabled. Points per intervals in minutes 5. Payouts to live users, 1. So you get 1 point per every 5 minutes. Payouts to active users. An active user says currency that a viewer will earn on top of the live amount when they talk in your chat. Amount of time between each payout, and it doesn't say what a live user is. So I don't know if maybe that's the reason why. But I have it so that way if you're chatting, you get more points. Again, not to mention the fact that I'm just handing out points left and right every so many, like normally this is the first time where I gave out points within the first 10 minutes of the people that are here for the beginning of the show, and then normally I do it at 10 o'clock and then 11 o'clock. Because normally by the time we end up leaving, there's like nobody in the chat anyway.
Yeah.
We end up talking longer than than people are here. Kyle had a broken something and won the championship, I think, says Pilot.
Hey, he had 2 broken legs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing that. I'm guessing that you have to actively be chatting as well as watching for it to start counting that you are watching. I think you have to type something in for it to start counting that you're watching.
Probably.
Which you guys all used to freaking leave a message in the comment right when you popped in. So, I mean, I guess that's the only thing I can think of is the fact that you have to be considered an active user, you have to chat. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know how this works. I just use it.
Yeah.
I just use it because it makes my stream look a hell of a lot better than the freaking standard StreamYard or whatever that I see a lot of people are using now. As Chris puts it, a Y. But his still wasn't up there. Chris, was Firebird Nation there? I forgot. I'm gonna go peek now. Firebird Nation. Yeah, he's here. He's got 102 points at still only 0.17 hours. So, yeah. Alrighty, guys. I'm actually.
Or we can do it this way.
What? Go ahead. Okay. I see. You're going to make me read this out. It's going to be something I shouldn't be reading out loud, aren't you?
No, that's it.
I see you. That's where you're going to
end up. There's 3 posts. That'd be worth 30 seconds.
All right. Hey, that what you just spelled out might be where you end up if you don't be paying attention to the road.
Perfectly long 2 miles straight away, nobody around me, 3 lanes wide. Not counting the shoulders.
It's okay, you all alone. Now we didn't have we only had 8 active people in the stream at one point. This time.
Hey, Jesus.
The last week we had 11?
So did the Super Cletus and them do an update on their track yet, or?
I think they saved the last one I just saw was them saving their shop truck.
Rollback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they were out in what were they out? Nevada or something, playing with the new C8.
Somewhere, yeah.
That's the last one that I saw.
And then they came back and like, yeah, let's work on this piece of junk.
I didn't watch that one yet.
I did. It's meh.
Well, that's what I figured. That's why I didn't watch it.
See them start it up and do all the stuff.
Started it up last time.
Like their usual exciting thing that they used to do, like when they were building Ruby or something like that. They're supposed to be putting the turbo that I think we're going to put on the El Camino on Ruby. I think that was a bigger turbo than what they have.
Oh? thought the
Yeah,
El
not
Camino was
much.
going to get the freaking stupid turbine.
Hmm?
Thought the El Camino was getting the helicopter engine.
Yeah, they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
No, because of safety
they were doing a
issues.
jet engine, but they vetoed it because of the safety issues.
Yeah,
Which I don't blame them for.
yeah.
No, I think the fact that that team that was working with them, setting that up and building that, one of their drivers was killed in a wreck.
Oh,
Yeah, that is what
The
happened.
girl, the girl was killed in a wreck, doing an exhibition run, and
Yeah.
I think that made them really, in
Second
light
guess
of
what they're
everything
doing.
that's happened, and we don't know nothing about it, and this is like way beyond our experience level. We're gonna veto that idea.
hmm.
Because one of them would have tried it on the street somewhere. They'd have been dumb enough to do it. Just for shits and giggles, let's do a jet burnout once. There's nobody around.
The jet burnout. You need to stand there on the fucking brake.
Well, the thing is the jet engines don't work that way.
Exactly.
The jet engine doesn't drive the wheels, so you
Nope, it's
can't
all
do
thrust.
a burnout.
But they can blow a hell lot of smoke and make the ill-conceived and unknowing think, "Wow, they're really burning them tires off, aren't they?"
Jay Leno, he's actually got a car that's driven by a turbine, like the wheels are driven by a turbine engine.
Yeah, they came out with that in the 60s, 50s or 60s. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, not that one. Like they built a supercar around the engine from a Bell Huey helicopter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like stupid loud. Like you need to have like headset like this on in the car so you could talk to the other person in the car. It's like stupid loud.
I think the neatest one I've seen, he's got that steam-powered one.
Oh yeah, that thing's cool. I mean,
I like
a lot
the
of his
old
cars.
shit he has. I like the old stuff.
Yeah.
He's got
Actually,
a
saw
first
one of
gen. He's got like a first gen and towards the very front of the assembly of the production line, Viper.
Wow, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, back when there was absolutely no creature comforts, it was all raw. Like
It was
four wheels,
pure raw race car for the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Viper first came out. They were damn. I mean, I remember hearing people getting in accidents of those because they were just you play with the throttle and it bring the rear end around because they were just that violent.
Well, yeah, I mean that was a lot of car for the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean still
some
today
horsepower.
that's a lot of car, but
yeah, it was like
now you can get a lot more car.
But car weighed almost nothing.
Yeah.
I got to drive one of them.
66.
That's one job I missed.
Yeah, that's the old school one.
We used to pick up a lot of that stuff. Well, that was done for the SEMA show in Vegas. We'd go into Vegas after the show and move the cars from there to our dock in LA to ship out to the different whoever had them that back to their shops or wherever they went.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna end the live stream here. We're gonna say bye-bye. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember or if I said it. I'm not gonna be here next week. I have something I have to do.
Moving weekend.
Huh? What was that, Chris?
I said it's almost time for moving weekend.
I have something I have to do next week that I haven't mentioned on here.
Oh my god.
And so I won't be on next week, and I'll have to let you guys know about that later.
Before we go, can I just I need to screen share something else, but has anyone ever heard of the 24 hours of lemons?
Yes. Freiburgers does it a lot. No,
yeah,
lemons.
Pretty much the main, like the TLDR of 24 hours of lemons is you're racing cars worth $500 or less. And I was just reading through the rule book, and this is hilarious. Get ready for this. Share screen.
Okay, hold on.
I've already got it highlighted, so this is hilarious.
I can't read it. Hold on. Oh.
3.J.1.8. bad weather visibility. It is your job to figure out which bad weather visibility aids will be most useful for your car. Wipers, rain X, tear-offs, small squeegee-wielding children tied to the hood, etc. are all acceptable. If your visibility appears compromised during the race for any reason, you may be black flagged until conditions improve.
So if you got like oil and shit on the freaking,
Squeegee-wielding children tied to the hood.
yeah, we'll just leave the live stream with that. So
Yeah.
see you guys not next week, but in 2 weeks. I know my little ticker down here says every week, but every once in a while I have a week off. So next weekend is one of those. So I will catch you guys in 2 weeks, hopefully, and we'll pick up where we left off with all the shenanigans. All right, see you later, Chris and Big E.
Have a good night, everybody.